Rishav, if you can just tell me a little bit about what's there.
So we are in Lodhi. It all makes sense to cover the architecture of Lodhi and the history behind it. So in this art piece, we are covering the Cornish designs that were all hand done during the 18th and 19th century. And these are the little engravings that are done in the, it's all written here, Khan Dara Khan's tomb, Nizamuddin. So these were all captured by Samuel Swinston Jacob. And these are during the 1890s.
Like, what is the art form? Like, if we talk about how, like, if you can just tell us a little bit about the technique that has been used behind this.
These are called steel engravings. So what used to happen was people used to engrave these art forms in a steel plate, then run it through acid to clean it, and then engraved a certain number of pieces on a piece of paper. After a few prints, those steel engraved are all brazed. And they are no longer usable because the images are not as sharp. So a very limited number of prints were able to be manufactured back then, and that cannot be replicated now. It's a lot of detailing, a lot of human elements is there, a lot of handwork, it's a very laborious
So the first layer is the engraving, and then they have painted over it.
Yeah, right? This is the after paint which has been done on very carefully on some of the areas to make it more appealing and pop. That's a later colored engraving. But initially it was very difficult to get those original colors on a steel plate. Sometimes we are able to do that, but that's altogether different technology that is used. We might be able to cover some upstairs.
Perfect. Let's talk about the other one.
Yeah, this is covering Agra and Delhi. That one is particularly Delhi. This has a lot of Agra Qillas as well. So this is another plate from the same book by the same artist.
And, so even the number of the plate is also mentioned. That was 11, this is 15.
Each of them were individually crafted on that steel plate. So there are different techniques. There's wood engraving, steel engraving, aquatints, lithographs, a lot of technologies are there. This one is a wood engraving. This one was carved on a piece of wood and then engraved.
Was it done in London or it was done in India over here?
So what they used to do is, they used to paint these on a piece of paper, take it back to London, and then have it printed there. So the book was initially published in London in the 1890s, and then we were able to get all of them back to Delhi. So it's remarkable that still these pieces are able to survive for such a long time. And we can see a little bit of yellowing there. That's because of the aging. And the pages were very brittle back then. So we need to take extra care for these prints. Now we come from architecture, the design element, to a war scene. So these are from a book called Siege of Lucknow. It's by Clifford Henry Matron. That's in 1858. So these are all from the plunders of Lucknow. So this is like a transition. Every transition needs to happen from some point, and the war and these things are like a transition from one phase to another. A city is totally different from before the war, after the war. So that is what we plan to do here. We are getting from the ground floor to the first floor. That is like a transition. We get to a different space. I think this war scene makes sense because this is a transition, like a staircase. You know, you go somewhere, you fall down somewhere, and this is what it covers. I think it's a beautiful element to this. A very interesting plate. This one says lying in wait. So that's like being patient for your enemy to come. So that's like
you see the anticipation because he's ready with a gun.
Yes. And so there's exactly. There's sinking a shaft and there's lying in wait. So you know all good things comes to those who wait. So you just need to wait to get to the first floor, second floor, third floor.
Crazy.
You'll get all the good stuff. There is a lot of fighting between the two.
Was it a siege or something?
It was a siege and capture of the Lucknow fort. So you can see the British army and the Indians defending the fort.
So this floor has got some works by the very famous artist called James Forbes and G.F. Atkinson. Now James Forbes, he did a book on India which culminated his about 17 years of travel in India. And the reason why we've selected these work to be a part in this store and in this floor specifically is because it kind of goes with the whole vibe of it. Specifically, let's talk about this particular art piece which says our coffee shop. Now, Glasshouse is serving one of the best coffees in town, I mean, be it traditional or experimental. The reason why we chose this particular piece is because, we want to show how coffee shops were run during the 1850s. Now, this is an original lithograph by an artist called G.F. Atkinson, and he did a lot of work on the everyday life scenes of the colonial India. And coffee being a very essential part of everybody's life in Delhi.
Pet friendly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dogs as well.
A lot of dogs and cats. They're also pet friendly.
They're also pet friendly at that point of time.
Exactly.
So we are again in the staircase, and that's the transition phase, as you know. And now we go back to the prehistoric times. That is the tribal India.
Okay.
So this is about a tribal dance where a woman with dancing with a lot of men, and this is by an artist called Sigmund Himley. It's in the 1830s. That's another black and white steel engraving. So it showcased the culture and the traditions that we had during those times. It's a very interesting concept to see.
Yeah, there are actually two ladies dancing, and there's one
person
playing.
one lady has a bag. I didn't
two
notice.
ladies in
Yeah,
there,
that's a good catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of instruments, there's tribal dance covered there. And I think it's like a celebration. We can see women wearing jewelry during those times. It's a very rare sight to see.
Yeah.
And it covers Pondicherry. How much detail do we have of Pondicherry anyways? These are some very few clippings that we are able to see the world in those times. And it's a very good art that was covered. These things only help us derive the history.
I just like the amount of detail in this is insane. I guess this is one of the most detailed artworks that we have.
It is.
Yeah. So this is the most iconic level of Glasshouse, the most loved, because this is where people really this is the place where people really fight for. And everyone loves the table over here at the terrace, and it's very iconic to me because I think it has a lot of character because this level has the most amount of sunlight, and this is where it completely opens up.
Yeah.
And and that's why pretty much that was the reason why we pushed for portraits here.
Sunlight captures the true emotions of the face.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we went with the portraits, because portraits capture the true essence of a human.
Yeah.
So we can see a lot of portraits here.
Yeah.
It's about an Indian king, Raja. We have Warren Hastings. It's a Hindu woman. And another gentleman who is a trader, a Parsi gentleman probably, a merchant. And we can see women lifting these water tanks above their heads. And we can capture the essence of what each and every woman in this picture is, the queen of candy. So these are by an artist called William Daniel. This was a nephew and uncle duo. So they captured India throughout in the 1830s to 1840s.
Yeah.
These are all steel engravings.
All steel.
All steel engravings. They showcase the element of their clothes, the art. Some of them have showcases their the architecture.
There's so much character about each and every picture here. There's something happening in that scene because this is so understated.
Yeah.
Just a lady carrying these earthen pots.
Yeah, we can see royalty.
Yeah.
We can see English
simple
gentleman.
life and so much detail here.
Hi, we are Rishav and Rashi. We are from Memoirs of India. We are into the third generation of our business of rare books, engravings and maps. So we have curated a very bespoke collection for 8 Glasshouse. We try to cover from 1830s to the 1900s, and we've selected architecture, tribal India, war and portraits for this selection. We believe this represents correctly about the Lodhi Delhi of where we live in, because it covers a lot of Mughal architecture, a lot of history was there about Delhi, and the Indian subcontinent, covering various cities which all relate and accumulate towards Delhi. This adds on to the beautification of this place, and it shows a very limited selection of the items that we have for display.
It's a wonderful opportunity. I think you all should come and experience the art at Glasshouse. We've got a very curated selection of original prints available. I'm sure you all will enjoy it.
So there's a lot of emotions and a lot of depth to what we see here. There are a lot
I'm
of
interested to see like people who will figure out these patterns, and of course like we as curators and like you of art, like me of experiences. I think that though we have our own lens and how we are curating it, because we find so much joy in it.
We just need to spend a few minutes seeing this, and I'm sure most of the people will figure out what we are trying to do here. You know, it can be a
Really
picture of random portraits, but when you sit and watch for a little while, notice the details up close, that is when you truly appreciate what the art brings to us.